So I want to be completely honest with everybody. There are, of course, and I've talked about this many times, a number of benefits that I've experienced through adopting the carnivore diet. Physical health benefits, mental health benefits, improvements in athletic performance and body composition. But I want to be transparent and honest. There are a couple of disadvantages to being on a carnivore diet. The first one has to do with sensitivity. So when most of us are eating a standard American diet or a garbage diet, our bodies are used to consuming a high amount of toxins. So we don't have any noticeable serious issues other than maybe some GI distress, some GI issues from now and then, but nothing that we would characterize as being too extreme. However, this kind of slow drip poisoning of our body does eventually catch up with us and does cause chronic health conditions, metabolic health conditions, autoimmune conditions, mental health conditions, inflammatory conditions, and so forth. But while we're eating a garbage diet, we, on a day-to-day basis, tend to feel relatively okay. When we clean up our diet and start consuming only nutrient-rich foods which are benefiting our body and our physiology, our health improves, our digestion improves. We're not consuming toxic inflammatory food anymore. This obviously is a big benefit for us health-wise, and that's why we feel better physically, mentally. We function better, have higher energy levels, lower stress levels. But it turns out that when the body becomes very healthy and optimized, it's highly sensitive to toxic substances such as foods, alcohol, and so forth. So my experience with the carnivore diet, I feel much better, and have felt much better than I've ever felt before being on the carnivore diet. My digestive functioning is on key. Everything feels great. I really feel like I'm thriving, but I have to be, and I guess it's not such a bad thing because it keeps me pretty strict, keeps me from cheating. But I do pay a price if I don't adhere strictly to the carnivore diet. Again, so I've been carnivore for almost 4 years now. I've never purposefully or advertently cheated, but there have been a number of occasions where I've been to a restaurant, have ordered, I'll usually order a steak at a restaurant, and I'll tell them, okay, just the steak with nothing else. I only want salt on the steak, no black pepper, no seasonings, no sauces, and please don't put anything else on the plate. 90% of the time, they put something else on the plate, whether it's some sauteed spinach and some kind of oil next to the steak, or or a kind of a cooked roasted tomato with some breadcrumbs on top of it, or it could even be to where the tongs that they flip the steak with, they'd flipped other foods with, and so had some contaminants, some residue of seasonings or sauces or whatnot that gets on my steak. But in any event, only eating the steak. There's been a number of times where I've been at a restaurant, I've eaten the steak, and I know pretty quickly that I've consumed something inflammatory. Probably about a half hour after I finish eating when this has happened. It's happened a handful of times. I'll get very bad GI distress. I'll become nauseous. A few times I've vomited. I'll have diarrhea, and the diarrhea will usually last for about 3 or 4 days. And typically what's happened is my whole life, ever since I was in high school, I've had chronic lower back pain. During my 20s and 30s, I was unable to do a lot of different weightlifting exercises in the gym, such as squats, deadlifts, and so forth, because I would really aggravate my back. And since going carnivore, I haven't had any back pain, except for the handful of times where I've eaten at a restaurant, and probably something has gotten into or onto the steak that I ate. And so my back the following day just inflames. And a lot of times when this has happened, I can't even get out of bed. extremely painful, just really high levels of inflammation in my back. And that usually lasts for a few weeks before the back pain goes away. So I would say that's probably one of the disadvantages of being on a carnivore diet is you are very sensitive and to inflammatory foods, and will probably possibly pay a price and be hurting afterwards if you do either inadvertently have a cheat meal or inadvertently consume something that's inflammatory. But again, I think that's a blessing in disguise because it's helped keep me very, very strict, and I have no motivation to cheat or eat anything else. So that would be the first disadvantage of the carnivore diet. The second disadvantage of the carnivore diet is that all your family, friends, and coworkers are gonna think you're completely crazy. Everybody thought I was nuts. They thought I was crazy. They thought I was a walking heart attack time bomb. So yeah, you have to get used to being the butt of jokes about eating only meat and not eating any vegetables or fruit or things of that nature. I'm fine with it, and I'm okay with laughing at myself and making fun of myself. But that is an issue, and for me, it happened, and I found myself the butt of a lot of jokes for a while until people saw that I was serious about this, and that I continued to stick with the carnivore diet, and that my health and functioning improved and body composition. And so I think the jokes, at least for me, tended to have stopped once friends, family, and so forth notice that I've gotten in excellent shape, and I'm in much better shape than they are. And a lot of them are suffering from a myriad of chronic health issues. So yeah, those would be the two disadvantages of a carnivore diet: the likelihood that you're going to be pretty sensitive to eating inflammatory foods, and having people think you're totally nuts. But definitely not deal breakers, not for me and not for the thousands of people who are on the carnivore diet and benefiting from it. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please click the like button. If you think friends, relatives, coworkers might benefit from this information, please share the video with them. Hit the subscribe button so that you can see more videos similar to this as I publish them. Thank you.